Ladies and gentlemen, very warm welcome to this video where I'm going to be discussing 7 rides and roller coasters in Theme Park Tycoon which needs to change. It needs to change. Whether it's just a slight update to the train or just the whole ride being scrapped and thrown out the window and bringing in something completely new, we're going to have a little talk about it. We're going to have a talk. So we're going to get straight into the list then, and I think the first ride that needs to be changed or remodeled is the two-seater flying coaster. So personally, I thought that when the new four-seater flying coaster came out, that nobody's ever going to use a two-seater again. And how wrong I am. Like, there are so many rides that you can do with a two-seater flying coaster. You don't need 4 seats. It's not necessarily the more the merrier for everything. Like, sometimes you just got to have 2 seats on a ride. And, for example, Fly, Phantasialand, if anyone wants to recreate that, they've got to have this crappy 2-seater roller coaster. So yeah, there was a new flying coaster that was brought out, but at the same time, you still need a decent 2-seater roller coaster. That applies for, I don't know, the flawless 2-seater roller coaster as well. You know, we've got to have a new 2-seater flying coaster coming out soon. See, these are all things that could come out in the next update, or just any update. And any of these being remodeled or updated, amen, that'd be amazing. Dennis, I hope you're listening. I really do. So that's it with number 1. Number 2 was a great suggestion from my Discord server, which was the Frisbee ride, which I think is very interesting. So the Frisbee ride is not one of the first flat rides that was introduced on the game, but it was very early on where it came out. So of course that means it's going to be very outdated. So there's a lot that they could do to update this. There's loads of other flat rides they can add as well, but if they want to focus on updating one current flat ride, I think the Frisbee is out of all the intense rides on that section. Frisbee is definitely in the most need for an update or just a remodel or something. Make it look good. Come on, Dennis. Number 3 is probably the one that everyone is screaming for the most, and that is the River Rapids ride. So this was not really well done, in my opinion. Like, 4 seats on a Rapids, you don't really get that much these days. If they put the station over 2 paths instead of 1, they could easily put an 8-seater on there, like pretty much any other Rapids ride. It's not something I personally use a lot. I'm not usually a fan of building water rides on Theme Park Tycoon, but I know it's something that other people would really want, and especially having an 8-seater Rapids instead of a 4-seater Rapids would be absolutely revolutionary on this game when it comes to water rides. They recently did update the Log Flume ride, where they just added a little bit more detail, but that detail meant everything. It made the Log Flume so much better. And if they did that to the Rapids, literally all they need to do is add 4 more seats on. Come on. If they did that to the Rapids, then the Rapids would be so much better, and it'd be something that a lot of other people would use in the game as well. So I am really hoping that they update the Rapids in the next update or the update after, as long as it's done. Come on, Dennis! So number 4 is something that doesn't need like a massive revamp, but it needs changing a little bit. And this was again suggested from my Discord server, which is the single rail coaster. So of course there's not really much you can do with the track. It's literally just like a line of metal, pretty much. There's nothing you can really do about that, personally. But especially the train. The train really, really needs some updating. It is literally just like a stick for a lap bar, you know. And if they updated the train, or just did a focus on the whole ride altogether, maybe there is something that they could do to the track that I haven't thought of. If they do a remodel of the whole ride altogether, it would be so much better, and it would be a lot more beautiful, I'd say. It'd be a lot more beautiful! But I do think that is something, it's not an urgent thing, I'd say. It's not really an urgent thing that needs doing, but it is something that does need doing probably soon, I'd say. It definitely does need doing at some point. But other things like the River Rapids, potentially the Frisbee as well, they're a little bit more of an urgent need compared to the single rail coaster, so you can take your time on that one, Dennis. So number 5 is the Spinny Coaster, and I'm not talking about the Launch Monster Extreme Coaster, whatever. I'm talking about the normal, basic, family-friendly roller coaster which spins. Yeah. So people think, again, it's kind of like the flying coaster. People think when the new spinning coaster came out, no one's ever going to use the old one. But you never know. There is like other rides in the world. I'm thinking about recreations. I'm a man of recreations, you know me. And I'm thinking like maybe Spinball Wizard or Dragon's Fury or any of them. I've forgotten what the name is of the manufacturer. Any of them rides, you know, which just have that kind of track, that kind of train, you know. It's something that's not going to be used often, so it's not really a priority, because as I said, it's not going to be used much. But if you want like a more family friendly spinning coaster than the Monster Lords spinning coaster, whatever it is, it definitely does need an update, definitely does need a little bit of remodeling. It's mainly just a train, to be honest, and just how it looks, you know. It's very hard to make that into a smooth ride from memory. I haven't really built out of it recently, but from what I can remember, it is quite hard to make smooth. So, Dennis, thank you. Number 6 is the dark ride. So, this one is very high, like with the River Rapids, on how badly does it need remodeling. On streams and everything, or just looking at normal parks, the dark ride is becoming very popular. I'm seeing quite a few people build out the dark ride, and how much it would mean to people if the dark ride was remodeled. So the train looks better. Maybe there's an option where you can like have no track whatsoever, just, you know what I mean. If they did that, if they remodeled that, maybe just the train or just how the track looks. You know, there's so much that you've seen, some of the improvement that Dennis has brought to this game when we didn't even think was imaginable. So if he did that to the dark ride, it would make so much sense, pretty much, for the people who are building with the dark rides at the moment, and just have that thought of a possibility of a better looking dark ride. It would mean so much to people. This is the face of someone who's trying to hold in the sneeze, bear with me. Anyways, it's definitely an urgent thing that needs to be done. And last but not least is the vintage cars. So it's not something that people use. Like, I haven't seen a vintage cars ride for God knows how long, but it is still there. It is still an option to build. So I personally think if you can build with it, it needs to look good. So it's definitely something that should be done. It's, again, not really that much of an update, but if you have a look inside the actual car, it's not pretty. It is not pretty. You've literally just got a circle through a wheel, pretty much. It doesn't look like a wheel, it's literally just like a solid piece of metal, pretty much, for a wheel. So there's quite a bit that can be done with that, but I don't imagine many people using the vintage cards, apart from if you're like a noob. Personally, I don't know, please don't cancel me for that, I don't know. I don't really see many people use it, so I don't know if it's that much of a big deal, but it's still something that could be done. It could be done. But there are the 7 rides I think would need to be updated very soon. Of course, there are some other rides on the game that could potentially be due with an update or just a little bit of touch it up. Personally, I think the wooden coaster, if they did the train for that again, that'd be absolutely amazing. Ferris wheel could be better. Like, it is good at the moment, but it could be improved. Anything else? Probably the hybrid coaster as well. Again, just the train. The track's usually fine. I don't know what else they could do with the track. But if they just edited all the trains pretty much, instead of having a stick for a lap bar pretty much, and having like proper restraints like on the new multi-launch coaster, that'd be grand. It would be absolutely amazing. But thank you very much for watching this video. Please make sure to leave a like if you haven't already. And also, if you are watching, haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Why not? But yeah, Dennis, there's your list, buddy. Please bless us.